Going once, going twice. Sold. Old business, on to new business. All right. First up is the update on the purchase of the LED lights. So in our last meeting, we approved the wire transfers. And then I did reach back out to NIPA and confirm with them that this is all part of the finance package. And so we wired the money yesterday and we had the closing. So we own the lights now. And we are invoicing NIPA and they will reimburse us for what we just put out. So that's good news for the budget, for our budget. Any questions on that?
About time.
All right. Next up is approve adjustment in rec director payroll to $48,750 due to New York State minimum wage increases.
I'll make the motion that we do that.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Approve appointment of a part-time account clerk. So we need to bring in a part-time account clerk.
I'll make a motion that we approve the appointment of a part-time accounts clerk.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay. Review and approve Aaron Wendell fire application.
Looked okay to me.
We're going to push this to executive.
Okay.
All right. Next up is to review and approve the Cortlandville recreation contract. So what I am proposing that we do is, because we have days to say yes or no due to the fact that they send us this take it or leave it deal. I'm proposing that we take it for 2021, and that in the contract that we send to them, we let them know that as of 2022, Cortlandville will no longer be participating in the Homer Rec League. And if their students or if their kids want to participate in any of our rec sports or anything, they're going to have to pay the full amount of what it actually costs. And that's not what we charge our kids plus the $10. It's the actual amount, which in many cases will be 3 times as high as what they're paying. So if they want to renegotiate with us, they to continue on in 2022, they need to let us know by May 1st.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Cortlandville recreation contract as written.
Is that a second from you, Kevin?
Yes.
Any other discussion or comments?
So that is for that same original amount that they offered before, nothing higher.
Yeah, it's just the 10,000. It's like I said, they gave us this take it or leave it deal, and this is the 3rd year in a row that they have arbitrarily and one-sidedly decreased the amount that they're giving us without any discussion. And every time it's been a take it or leave it deal. So, and it goes down every time. So I'm proposing that this is the last time that we take it and we don't take it any further. So I've been also in discussions with the city about making sure that we are forming a unified front going forward on this, because it's just not fair for Homer taxpayers to pay money for Cortlandville kids to play in our rec league. It's not fair.
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
And it still leaves in the May 1st, if they want to renegotiate, then it still has it in the clause for May 1st. So it's not, and it's well before their budget season
Plenty of
kicks
time.
off, so they can't say, well, we already,
And
So
hey, all it is basically say if you want to continue, you need to actually have a dialogue with us, not just send us a letter that says this is what we're going to give you, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
So, all right. Any other discussion, comments? All right, all in favor?
I,
Unanimous. All right. And right along the same line, the Summer Hill Fire contract. So as you guys know, there's been a dispute with Summer Hill about how much they should be paying. And even though we have a paper trail a mile long that shows that repeatedly, we've told them over and over, the goal of the village is to be at $1 per thousand in assessment, and that we were moving that direction. We cut them slack last year because they took what we said completely out of context. So we said, fine, we'll let it go this year, but next year you're going to have to make up for that amount. And then here we are this year, and they're pulling out a completely wrong amount again and saying this is what we said it was, which absolutely not. We have a paper trail to prove it. So the certified letter went out to them that says as of the end of the day, December 31st, they are no longer under the protection of the Village of Homer Fire Department. So the Homer Fire Department no longer will be contracting with Summer Hill. They have to get their service somewhere else. I don't know where that will be, but I hope that they've got it lined up because it's not many days away from now.
No doubt.
And once again, it's just a matter of, we had an agreement. They tried to change it on us. We were flexible. They came back this year, even though we gave them plenty of notice and explained to them where we were going with the pricing, which still puts us far under what other departments charge. They wouldn't honor that. So, we have really no choice. We cannot dictate.
We did everything we could and should do, so.
We did.
we've done everything within the contract and then some. I mean, they were supposed to come to us if they had issues. They didn't. We've reached out to them multiple times. I've reached out to them twice personally and not received a call back.
No, we are in the right on this. I am convinced of it, and I hope for the sake of the residents of the town of Summer Hill that they have their new fire protection lined up.
Yeah, for sure.
And just as notification purposes, just want to say it did go out certified, it went out regular. I also emailed both the supervisor and the town clerk. Also had a conversation with the town clerk on Monday stating what was in the email and that I am available if said supervisor and or board were to get together and do something else. But again, they've been all quiet, so it is what it is.
And as far as we know, they have secured other fire protection and will be moving forward with someone else going forward. Good luck to them.
I guess there's a part. I guess there's a part of me that is, if they had secured fire protection someplace else, they could have given us the courtesy of letting us know that instead of us trying to reach out and keep continuing to do what we're doing. I mean, Dan, you send a certified regular mail, emails, phone calls.
Yeah. No, they've been really non-responsive to us, and then turning around and putting it on us like we're the bad guy because we won't honor an amount that in no way did we ever agree to. So, and again, it's one of those, they gave it to us and said, take it or leave it. It's not fair for Homer Village residents to pay for the town of Summer Hill's fire protection.
Exactly.
It's just not fair. All right. Next up, discussing the closure of the Wall Street Bridge. So this has been an issue. We've had residents asking us to please shovel it so that their kids can go back and forth. The issue is that that bridge has been red flagged by New York State as being unsafe for both vehicular and pedestrian traffic. So it would be a huge liability for the village if we shoveled it, because in addition to it being an unsafe bridge in the summertime, now we've got an unsafe bridge with a snow load that's potentially slippery in the wintertime. And so we're not going to do that, but I guess an agreement was reached with the town where the town is going to shovel it. Pat, do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I guess in the past, both the village and the town kind of shared and helped shovel a pathway across. However, in this particular bridge itself, it's owned by the town and it has been flagged by the state. So, we've decided as the village not to do that. The town is still going to do that. The town supervisor, Mr. Phelps, said he's going to continue to do that.
That's fine, as long as it's and we're instructing our DPW crew not to get involved and not to help out, because we don't need to have that liability hanging over our heads. Should something happen to that bridge, and is it going to collapse? I doubt it, but this is what we're here to do, is to protect the interests of the village and the residents, and that's what we're doing. So the town has chosen to do it. That's fine, but they've taken.
Well, it's their bridge. It's their bridge. It's their prerogative.
That's right.
It's their prerogative.
Yeah.
Now, is there something? Do we want to do the Water Street Bridge? That is ours, and that is fine for pedestrian use, but that would require somebody from the senior center to shovel a path down to the bridge.
I guess if the senior center is willing to shovel a path down to it, we could shovel it off for them, but that'd be up to them. So I guess if they want to let us know that that's what they're going to do, we could, I'm sure, do something about that, but until we hear from them.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is the Little White Church. And this one's not great. You guys probably saw, or did you? I don't know if you all got the quote from Woodford Brothers for the stabilization of the walls and the foundation.
Yep.
It's a lot of money, and it's more than the village has, and so I don't know what we should do at this point, to be honest with you. Yes, Ed?
I recommend that we bring it up to the village in a vote for a bond issue. If the people want it, they'll put a bond issue, and therefore their taxes won't rise a whole lot per year. It may be a lot of years, but we expect to use the building for a lot of years. You have really no choice. It either has to be fixed or it's going to fall down. So let's bring it up to the public. We'll do some outreach and discussions, and there'll be people saying, hey, what's the village doing with a building that is nice to have, not mandatory? Yeah, it's historical. So we'll get people like that. Unfortunately, we can't raise money. We
Right.
can't go out and get donors because it's a public, and we can't donate and say, okay, give it to a 503c or something and say, hey, we had, like 85K or something, or some amount. We could donate. Well, can't do that either, because you can't do that with taxpayer money to a private. So I'm thinking the only thing we can do is start doing an outreach and do a bond issue, and do it for the 350K or whatever it takes, or 500, because you got to fix the roof, which was never part of our kind of estimates. You got to put a new roof on it. Got to do the foundation. I know I could work on the kitchens and save us a ton of money there, but the butt part is I can't lift the building up. I just, we can't do that. And that's specialized equipment. and blah, blah, blah. And plus that roof sags and that's specialized people. So I recommend that we go through and come up with a number and make a presentation and start bringing it up to the people and either kind of set a date for March, our old election dates or something that might be convenient, and ask for a bond issue and make sure everybody knows that it's going to raise, you know, their taxes $10 a year or something like that for the next 20 years. Over.
That's a great idea. That is a great idea. I think personally, I don't know what do you guys think?
I think it's our only choice. It's either
What I
that or
like about
demolish
that,
it.
well, what I like about that is I think we should, make sure we do it from soup to nuts so that when it's done, it's done.
Yep.
Bond interest rates right now are historically low. So if there's a silver lining to this, it would be that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I agree. I think,
I think that's a great idea. Kevin, what do you think?
It's a great idea. I'm just not sure there's enough people to support that.
Well, that's
Well,
what
that's
you'll
the other-
find out.
That's the other beauty of the idea, right? Is we put it to the people to vote on it. And if they say no, then it's a parking.
Parking lot.
Yep.
85K goes towards tearing it down.
Yep. Okay.
It'd be a hazard. All right. So which one of you guys wants to lead this, Pat?
oh, Ed, I thought you were in the Little White Church. I thought you'd signed up for that.
I'll help. No,
I know,
you're
I gotta
you're
complain.
the smooth talker, not me.
Yeah, I think we'll
I'll help, but I'm not whatever.
I gotta get the list to I still gotta get that list to you, Tim. I'm sorry.
Maybe you
Yeah.
put a few bucks and have Toma lead it or something like that.
That's probably a good idea.
Because this is a major,
Yeah.
300,000 or 400,000, if not more.
Yeah. I'd say
Because it needs to be painted, the windows maybe need to be fixed. I mean, we don't even know all the things.
Right.
Like a new furnace, chimneys, who knows?
Yeah.
So it's probably $500,000, which is not
Yeah, I think it
much for a historic place, especially over 20 years. You figure,
Yeah.
divide that in and some interest. I don't know.
I think that's a good idea.
It's either that or, it's a parking lot,
Yeah.
which is sad.
Which would be tragic. So this way, at least, the people decide.
Well, let's put a thumbtack in, and I don't know, Dan or somebody might be able to help us here. Like a March 15th, give us 3 months, because if we don't get started this summer,
Yeah.
it's going to be worse.
Yeah.
It may be a point of no return.
All right.
So let's try March 15th for a vote date or someplace during the middle of the week.
A decision date.
And let's start with outreach. This meeting right here will be Shenandoah and Don. Well, obviously, this is kind of a big deal because it's controversy. They gotta love it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll help. Pat, you and I? Tim?
Yeah, I'll help however I can.
I know. And of course, well, we all will work on it, obviously. I'm just
my
saying.
internet
I know it is. Your internet connection's terrible, Pat.
Yeah.
Are you wishing for a new internet connection from Santa this year?
I am. I'll have to
BIOS?
talk to my IT.
Maybe some
Yeah.
BIOS?
Did we bring up or discuss maybe like a project for humanity? Can we do anything like that? Bring
A problem.
Yes, you can. You can do volunteers, but you just can't ask for people to give you money. You can do volunteer work. But like the humanity, they aren't the people that are going to lift up the foundation.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
I know
that's
that.
serious work.
No doubt.
And the roof is serious work. We can do the steps. We can do low painting maybe, but not the high stuff. And we can do the interior work, the kitchen, the doors, that kind of stuff. And the ADA bathrooms. That we could probably do. but that major stuff, there's just, you gotta have equipment and people willing to climb on roofs. And did we ever get a quote on the roof repair? Because that's leaking like a sieve. That should be kind of at least patched with some monies like now.
Wait till Thursday.
Yeah, till it rains.
I don't know. I know that Goddard was supposedly going to get up there and finally in luck and tell us, but I don't know if he ever did or not.
I know part of it was with the weather, with the snow and everything. He can't, until the snow load comes off, you can't see the roof.
Well, anyhow, all right. How about this may be, there has been talk, moving on, talk about looking at a garbage truck. Has anybody firmly voted to decide not to ever do it? Or do we want to look at something that could save us some money? Marathon is still interested.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've decided either way. That's still part of the budget stuff.
I did contact Leach's Custom Trash and spoke with Greg and offering up backup if something were to happen to our trucks. He gave me the answer that he might be interested, but right now they're in a transition with his son Pat, kind of taking over the daily operations of that business. But he didn't say no.
All right.
Well, if nothing else, you can always get somebody else. Even the DPW guy says if they got desperate, they'd use their own truck and throw it in the back of the dump trucks. And, if they got desperate, which, who knows? All right. Hey, so the guys have been emailing back and forth. There's a potential truck in Oneida County that's up for auction. That could save us some money. Therefore, if you did decide to go with it, then you could use that money towards the Lord Church or other activities of the village, like buying a new dump truck, or because that could save. So anyhow, do you want the DPW to go up Wednesday, that's tomorrow, to take a look at it? And if that's the case, an emergency meeting, because it's the auction bids are due Monday or Tuesday, and what kind of number, and we talk about that in executive, that we'd be willing to bid on it. And Mike Carter can get on the phone and probably give us a better answer to that. But it's pretty nice when you see it on Auctions International. It's a 2014, and it's not rusted or anything. So it's got new tires on it. Food for thought versus a new one, which is my preferred way, but that could even save more money if you got a used one to begin with. You can even buy 2 used ones. Over.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Well, we'll have to talk about it. I don't know. What do you guys? What do the other trustees think? Because this is, I mean, like I said, this is a monumental decision, and it's a bell that we can't unring if we.
Well, we did it once before. Mike said we did do pickups in the past, so it has been done. These other villages have done it, so I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not impossible to do. It's more a matter of, are we ready to all of a sudden overhaul and start picking up garbage,
Well, we need
in
money.
a month or whatever. Yeah.
Mike, what's your guys' schedule tomorrow?
Pretty tight. I've got 5 off tomorrow, so there's only going to be 3 of us. I can always have Phil. I got to go get the signs that we had made too. They're done. I need to get that done. The street signs, elderly finally got those done. I mean, one of us can break away and go look at it. I'd kind of like Ed to go look at it too, if he can.
I would. I just was I didn't want a crew because I don't need COVID. But if
No.
it's just one other guy, I'd be glad to drive.
Yeah, I mean, I just soon see you and Nick go look at it, you know,
I would not have a problem doing that,
right. I mean,
assuming that the board is okay with us looking at it.
right,
I guess
Well-
my two cents on this is, if Mike, if you can spare it, it doesn't hurt to go take a look, because as we're looking into this,
Right.
we should be gathering information and learning as much as we can prior to pulling the
absolutely.
trigger on anything.
But the bids are due when?
Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, there was 8 days left yesterday, so we only got 6 days tomorrow, as of tomorrow.
I mean, Nick and Ed might go up and take a look at it and find something that's glaringly, obviously wrong with it. And that
Exactly.
would make the decision really easy.
So
Or they, go ahead, Mike.
it's got a rebuilt motor. I think I did drop the paperwork off to Tanya. It's got the motor's been rebuilt. It's got new tires on it. I mean, it does look like a good one, but we need to look at it before we go much further, probably.
Is it normal to rebuild a motor after?
It was on
5 or 6
warranty.
years?
It
Same
was-
thing that happened to our fire truck.
Yeah. 67,000 miles it's got on it, and it looks like it's in good shape. So
Well, what I would recommend, Mike, is maybe talking to some of your other dealers to see what that value might be.
exactly.
And then we could discuss it in an email emergency meeting before, and determine if we want to bid or not and what the upper limit would be.
Right.
Like that could be something we do next Monday or something. The holiday cheer should be over by then. Your bills will be in, you'll be all depressed. Maybe you want to buy a new present. I don't know.
I hear you.
Food for thought. Hey, you know what? Nothing else. Maybe you get it and then you resell it. I don't know. It's just a gamble. I mean, you're trying to figure out how to save some money and do the right thing. Yeah. This is all new. It's all different. We're going to hire a couple people. And if we can get Marathon, which they seem to be inclined, maybe that's synergy. Maybe there's some government monies to help. I mean, hey, we can't fund the Little White Church, and we all want to do something there. So, I mean, I don't know. I think.
I'm not pushing this one on you guys. It just looks like a good one, and I just thought it might be a good idea to go look at it. That's all. I mean, you're probably looking at 50 to 70,000. I mean, it'll jump up there fast, I'm sure.
It's better
Yeah.
than 220.
I mean, Ed, if you want to ride up with Nick and look at it.
I'll be glad to. Mike, let me know what time you want me over there.
Okay.
I'll drive up. I'll buy him lunch too.
I'll give Nick a call, and I'll let him make the arrangements with you. And then
Okay.
just so you guys know, I'm going to have Galeotti go after go to Elderly Signs and get our street signs tomorrow. So we'll have 2 pickups out of town, just so everybody understands.
Hey, long as they're for business, I don't have a problem with it at all.
Absolutely. No, I just want you guys to know. That's all.
Yep.
All right,
Okay.
over.
Next up is COVID-19 testing update. So the city has worked out an agreement with the college to get involved in the pool testing that they're doing. And the cost is dramatically lower than, I think we were quoted $300 a test when we looked into it. And I think the pool testing is only $30 a person. And I think it's $100 if someone in the pool tests positive, for them to test everyone. And I think that might be something that we want to do to start testing our employees, and also the volunteer firefighters, and of course the police as well. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I thought testing was free. What the hell's going on here? I mean, my tax money in the feds, I thought there was free testing.
No, I mean, it is if you're symptomatic, but you have to call your primary care and basically tell them that you think you have COVID or you have the symptoms.
Why
And then
would I get a test if I don't feel bad?
well, because
Because you can be infected before you feel bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you can have it and never know you have it.
I'll blame Nick then.
Hal, if I can just interject, because the county just actually passed a resolution at its meeting Thursday to put $50,000 forth to help cover costs, because your insurance will only cover your COVID test if you're symptomatic, you come into contact with someone who has the virus, has tested positive for the virus, or what was the other one? Or you're going in for surgery. Those are the only 3 areas in which your insurance company will actually cover your test. They won't cover it if you like go to a protest, if you're an essential worker, none of
That's
that.
good to know. All right, thank you. All right, I'll touch base with the county then to see what they're planning on doing. We'll figure it out though, because we do need to start testing our people.
I want them to be safe.
Yeah, you just have to. I mean, if you guys, we went from 0 deaths to 25 in what, 2 weeks? So we need to take this pretty seriously.
Well, this would allow us to be proactive instead of reactive.
Exactly.
That's what we need to do.
I've believed in testing the entire time, so.
Hey, $30 a head is nothing compared to life.
Yeah. All right, and the next is 2 resolutions that we need to approve, and for that I turn it over to Dan the man.
Sure. First resolution is a simple one. There's a new schedule from New York State regarding record retention and disposition. So we have to accept it. We were under the original one we were under is called MU1. This is called LGS-1. And they recommend getting this done. So it's already in the hopper because this helps for grants with regards to records retention and things like that. And obviously it's something that we're required to do.
Do you have to read that whole 5 pages?
That's the 5 pages. Well, it's just the first one is just a simple couple of paragraphs. There is a
Okay.
longer resolution coming up.
Yeah, that's the one I didn't want to hear.
Okay,
All right, go ahead, give us the first one.
you got it. Resolution to accept retention and disposition schedule for New York local government records, LGS-1. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Village of Homer that retention and disposition schedule for New York local government records issued pursuant to Article 57-A of the Arts and Cultural Affairs Law and containing legal minimum retention records for local government records is hereby adopted for use by all officers in legally disposing of valueless records listed therein. Further resolved that in accordance with Article 57-A, only those records will be disposed of that are described in the LGS-1 after they have met the minimum retention periods described therein. And B, only those records will be disposed of that do not have sufficient administrative, fiscal, legal, or historical value to merit retention beyond established legal minimum periods. You guys just accept that, then we're good to go.
I'll make a motion that we accept it as stated.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. All right.
Dan, I take it that Karen's already working on that.
She and I talked, and she certainly recommended that we get it done because it's no harm, no foul, really, and it's actually something that we just need to follow. So,
Got it.
and basically, it's a. I guess there were multiple record schedules for multiple different entities. This is combining everything into one. So
Okay.
it's just one schedule to follow for most folks.
Thank you.
Second resolution is a resolution to amend our negative deck and secure stuff that we did for the sewer project. As everyone knows, we have money left over from the sewer project due to the low bid of the contractor, Green Mountain, and Bart and Lagutis have put together different I guess, scales of work regarding our various pumps and other work that weren't part of the original project to do. So we're kind of adding on, getting more work done to upgrade all of our sewer equipment, which is a good thing. And this is the first step of that process. This is just to declare a negative declaration that kind of work is the exact same kind of work that was done originally in the original contract. This is not necessarily a go-ahead. in the work. This is just getting it ready to do the neg deck and making sure that it's in line with the type of work that's already been done previous. So that's what this is for. Resolution regarding the State Environmental Quality Review Act process amendment for the Village of Homer Sewer System Improvement Project. Whereas the Village of Homer is proposing the Village of Homer Sewer System Improvement Project, and whereas pursuant to Article 8 of the Environmental Conservation Law as amended, the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, SECURA, and the implementing regulations, 6 NYCRR Part 617, the village desires to comply with SECURA and the regulations with respect to the project, and whereas pursuant to SECURA and the implementing regulations, the Village of Homer previously completed the SECURA process and passed a negative declaration for the proposed project back on May 9th, 2018. Whereas the previously reviewed project scope included manhole rehabilitation, sealing of existing precast wet wells at the Clinton Street and North Main Street pump stations, sewer main rehabilitation, and the installation of 2 new flow meters. Whereas the project now involves rehabilitation of 8 of the village's existing pump stations in addition to the previously reviewed project scope. Whereas the Village of Homer and the Village Board as lead agency has updated the parts 1, 2, and 3 of the full environmental assessment form to reflect the change in project scope and subsequently notified all interested and involved agencies of the amendments made to the project in support of reissuing a determination of significance. Whereas pursuant to the SECURA regulations, Village of Homer, Village Board, as lead agencies, consider the significance of the potential environmental impacts of the amended project by A, using the criteria specified in section 617.7 of the SECURA regulations, B, examining the amended FEIF for the project, including the facts and conclusions in parts 1, 2, and 3 of the FEIF and part 3 evaluation document, together with other available supporting information to identify the relevant areas of the environmental concern, and C, thoroughly analyzing the identified areas of environmental concern. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Village of Homer and Village Board has amended parts 1, 2, and 3 of the FEIF for the project, and resolved that the Village of Homer Village Board has completed a review of the amended SECURA FEIF documents and confirm that the project is a type 1 action, which has been determined will not have any significant adverse impact on the environment, as provided the amended FEIF documents attached here to and hereby made a part thereof, and resolve that the mayor of the Village of Homer is hereby authorized to take all actions to serve all notices and complete all documents in order to give full force and effect of this amended SECURA process, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
We have a motion?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Guys, have a little backup documentation to go through again if you'd like. After this process, if we are going to go down the process of getting that work done, we're going to have to amend the bond resolution as well. So everyone remembers how lovely process the bond resolution was. So we're going to have to do that all again to get this going. So that's something we can talk about next month.
Fun. Okay.
Dan, could you read all that backup information, please?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Everybody settle in? All right.
All right. That's all that we've got on the agenda. Any comments from board members? Pat? None? Kevin?
I just have one, because I know that the town does their budget earlier in the season. Wondering if we might want to think about that, because this December thing is killing me.
Yeah, it's awful, and we would have to research because it would mean changing our entire budget year, and I don't know how you even do that, but I'm sure it can be done. People do it. I just don't even.
Just an idea.
Yeah, I know it's not fun. Tim?
Just wanted to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody out there. Hopefully you have a safe and happy holiday.
Thanks, Tim.
Ed, what do you got?
Same as Tim. To all, be safe, be happy. Let's see, what else? Route 11's coming along, I guess. We're waiting for Toma to do something to be able to tear those buildings down.
Contract has just been approved by the state. That's what we're waiting on before we issue the RFP. We also need to get an extension for the grant because in actuality, the grant sunsets this month. But the state is well aware that we're going to do an extension. So Rich was reaching out to the parks state agency to see if, one, if they're already doing it, or two, if they need something from us to initiate it. It seemed like Jean, who the state representative, was well aware of the extension was needed, so she may have already gone ahead and put it in place after the contract was accepted. And as far as demolition, RFPs will probably go out next month.
That's great.
Very good.
Let's see, anything else? Little White Church, we covered. No, I guess I'm good. Merry Christmas, everybody.
All right. We need to go into executive session to talk about real estate and a personnel matter. But before then, I'd like to open it up to the media for any questions.
Al, what was the cost for the street lights we paid? Maybe
Andy, you did the wire transfer. What it was?
It's 145 something, wasn't it?
Then there was I think there was
It's approximately 154,000.
Okay, close enough. And do you have Woodford's price quote for
128K, Don.
128,000?
Yep.
$128,650.08.
and that's just to fix the issues with the foundation and the one wall.
All right.
And they also left it open for, hey, there's contingencies. If it's worse, it could go up. And they probably indicated it would. So you're talking at least 150 or more. That's why we have this issue.
Right.
You know,
Okay, that's.
it's serious.
And what were we talking about with Summer Hill? How much they don't want to pay us?
So when we set about to raise the amount that we charge for fire protection just to bring it up to still less than almost everyone else, because we were woefully less than everyone else, we discussed with the different towns, and pretty much all the towns understood, that they'd been getting an incredible deal for the last decade or more, but that we needed to raise rates to offset. So we went to a meeting with Summerhill 2 years ago, and we had sent them the exact amounts that it would be. We were gonna allow them to spread it over 3 years, and so after the third year, it would have gotten to the dollar. And at some point, they said, well, it's 50,000, it's 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, right? And I said probably something like, yeah, around 40, 50, 60, something like that. Well, they took that as gospel, as that's what they were going to have to pay. So last year, they, no, we're not paying anything more. You said 40, 50, 60. We're only paying 40, 50, 60. So we sent them a contract that said, all right, you're going to pay 40, but next year it needs to go up, and you're going to need to increase it by the amount that we were shorted this year, plus what it would have gone up to. And we sent this it was even in the contract that they signed that said we are pushing to get to $1 per thousand. And we offered for them to come to the fire department to give them tours. We basically told them, if you have an issue with this contract, you need to let us know by July 1st. We reached out. And so what it really is they say they're paying 50 and nothing more, and won't not a penny more, but what they owe is about 56 and change would be this year. And so for $6,000 and change, they are going to have to find a different service to provide fire protection.
Does Summerhill have a fire commissioners?
It's a fire protection district.
No, they don't have fire commissioners.
So the town board is the fire commissioners,
Yes.
essentially. Okay. Just wanted to clarify that. So they don't have anybody to lay the problem off on.
Just
And say that-
themselves.
Say that their board of commissioners did not do their job.
And their discussion, from what have heard, is that they are thinking about splitting the town up and having 3 different departments cover it. So McLean covered part of it, and Spafford covered part of it, and I don't know who the third one was. I can't remember. So, which seems
Block, maybe.
it seems like a 911 dispatch nightmare to me. But
Yeah. They border Locke, Groton. Locke and Groton. I don't know about McLean.
yeah,
And then,
Sem-
yeah. Then they'd have to.
Sempronius. Sempronius.
Sempronius, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's okay.
So they would have to go and negotiate with those 3 departments. Those 3 departments would have to vote to
Right.
approve.
And those 3 departments, are all pretty much every other department in this entire region charges more than we do. So it's not like they would be going to these departments and getting a discount or paying less. So
Maybe it's just a matter of principle.
yeah, those things happen. So
Okay. That's all I have, other than Merry Christmas to everybody. The next issue will be out New Year's Eve.
Wow,
So you can-
nice.
So you can, after New Year's, you'll be able to read what you did.
Shenandoah, you got anything?
No, I just wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you.
All right, I'm out of
Hey.
here. I got a bag full of Christmas cookies to eat.
Well, that's
Hey, I don't have much. Mayor Hal, I just wanted to know, do you know if the Elizabeth Brewster House residents, are they being vaccinated there? Or are they supposed to be going to Guthrie? Guthrie has a press conference tomorrow, so I'm going to find out a lot about what they're doing. But I was just curious myself about Brewster, because it's right across the street, I guess.
no idea. And
Yeah.
we haven't been told.
That's what I figured. Okay. All right. Yeah. Because I was going to check in with all the nursing homes anyway, but I figured I'd see what I find out tomorrow morning anyway. So maybe I'll let you know if I find out anything
Please do.
from
Yeah.
them. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Merry Christmas, guys. And yeah, let's see what 2021 has in store.
Sounds good.
Gotta be
Yeah.
better.
Christmas.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you. Have a good executive session. I'm jealous.
Oh, who wouldn't?
See
All
ya.
right. We do need a motion and a vote.